Hello and welcome to a Spooktacular special edition of Sideshow Live. How's it going, everyone? We have special guests in the studio today. Like, some of them are from our realm and then some of them are from the underworld. So right now we have Court Denizens Anna and Jesse are in the house. Big cheer, round of applause for them. So in the spirit of spook, we'll be getting a first look at the creepy new exclusives for Mortigal, Kier, and Galavarb premium format figures. Now, Kier and Galavarb, this is the second edition of them. We'll also have a first up-close and personal look at the Mortigal art print. Can you see it already? Okay. I was like, it's right there.
Yeah,
that one. It's that one.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
We'll look at that. It's called The Soldier of Cruel Purpose. Ooh. Anyway, sorry. We have Kitty in the chat channels. We have Dennis in the house, since apparently everyone's asking about Dennis.
Hi.
Dennis is here. And we have Peter Quill in YouTube, and Andy, and our video team. That's everybody who's here. We will be doing some court-themed giveaways live in the chat. This is all Underworld Court of the Dead based today. So, yay! Court-themed everything. Court statues, premium formats, court prints, court giveaways. It's courtalicious, if that's a word, which isn't. No, it is not that. Peter is on Periscope, also making sure that.
Cool.
Okay, that's awesome. That Periscope is also watched. So there will also be a live Q&A with Anna and Jesse. So that is awesome. Think of lots of good questions, court-based and otherwise. And so Spooktacular so far has been going really, really awesomely. Kitty pulled some souls. She became a reaper herself. She got to name some turtles, which I think was her favorite thing. Someone sold.
Turtles don't have souls.
Their master stole the soul. Like, he offered his souls for names for his turtles.
I got to name his pet turtles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So soul collecting is we let people offer us their souls and we borrow them while they complete a task. And once they've completed their task, we give them their soul back and also a prize. Yeah.
Like
So this soul offered, like, I've never named my turtles. I would like Kitty to name them. So.
I named them ravioli and rigatoni. And I was like, Ninja Turtles, pizza, Italian, pasta.
Yeah. So they're named.
Delicious.
Yes, they were great. Someone laughs at you, Anna. Haha, turtles don't have souls. All right. So yeah, we've been doing some soul borrowing. There's one up on Instagram right now, so you can make your offer there for whatever you want. Just make us an offer, and we'll be choosing those souls after this court live show. So for all information regarding Spooktacular, you're going to want to go to sideshow.com/spooktacular and make sure that you have that. Just keep that tab open. I've been saying it all week, but just keep the tab open because that's where the discounts are. That's where the blogs are. That's where our social feeds are. So just keep it open. That's what I have to say about that. So we're going to watch a video, and when we come back, I'll have Anna and Jesse with me while we is that true? That's true. Yeah? Oh, yeah, no, I will. I will have you guys with me while we talk about the Court of the Dead. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. We're back with Anna.
Hi.
We have a bunch of awesome court stuff to show you, but first we have this Mortigal art print, Soldier of Cruel Purpose. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Mortigal is Demethyl's protege. So for those of you that are familiar with the court, Demethyl is our Reaper General. He is the leader of the Bone faction and the military. He's very much the Obi-Wan of the underworld, right? He's very kind of reserved and a by-the-book fellow, whereas Mortigal, his protege, is more like kind of a mischievous captain of the football team, you know? I mean, he understands the rules, but he's at such a level of talent that he's somewhat able to break and bend the rules.
Oh, I see.
And he's not afraid to do that. He's that next generation of Reaper that's got a little more attitude to him. He's a contemporary of Kier, who's, you know, kind of the bloody head of our cheerleader squad. There, the two of them.
I really like this
together.
new metaphor that we're talking. Sports analogies for the court. Now I'm just picturing them all.
I watched Riverdale, so it's in my brain. So I'm like, you know,
I love Riverdale.
Creepy
so
high school,
much.
you know.
Riverdale's
Good archetypes. They apply.
No, they're great.
Land of the Dead, high school.
Oh my gosh.
Same thing.
So would he be like Reggie?
Yeah. He's got a little bit of Archie to him, you know. I think.
I just really upset our PR guy. he's like, don't do this. Don't go down this road.
He's a little Archie, a little Jughead. I think he has a darker side to him.
Obviously,
he toes the line. This image is particularly cool because he's just like kind of pre-killing stroke there. You can see the osteomancy kind of bubbling up in his hand, and he's savoring that last moment, that last, like, you know, I see you, you see me, I'm about to annihilate you, this is your last moment, smiling, and then boom. So, you know, this is the kind of art you want to hang on your wall. You want to see that last moment as
I like the wings.
Gargantuan. Tom, our chief creative officer, is a huge military history fan. So for those of you military history buffs out there, you can probably pick out some of the influences throughout history that came to play when we were designing that costume.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the Mortigal Soldier of Cruel Purpose goes up for pre-order next Friday, November 3rd, framed. So this edition right here that you're seeing framed. And it's priced at $250. If supplies last, it will go up on sale Monday, November 6th, unframed at $90. This is art by Jimmy Sue. Okay, cool.
I think we're going to get a close-up of the print.
Awesome.
And it's super limited.
And it's very limited. There's only 100 pieces, and they're all hand-signed. So I like that it says, Anna, tell me more about the character. I think I skipped around a little bit. So as always, we're running contests for the print. Well, not always, but for this one, we definitely have a contest for it. Check it out at sideshow.com/reaperprint. That's sideshow.com/reaperprint. So I think we're getting the close-up of the print right now, that coffee-bound soul. Aren't we all? Yes.
Yeah. Coffee faction.
Definitely.
Before noon.
Yes, there should be a coffee faction, especially during Spooktacular. Wow. And also, for sure. There is also an RSVP list for this piece, and the RSVP list goes, they get notified first. So the email goes out the second this beautiful art print goes up for pre-order, and so you will know immediately when it goes up. Also follow sideshow.com/ Facebook.com/sideshow artprints, and that's the art print page. So they will have very up-to-date, up-to-the-minute updates about this art print. So we're going to watch an out-of-the-box of Demethyl, and then when we come back, we'll be featuring the premium format figures of Mortigal, Kier, and Galavarb. Thanks. Yay. Anna's going to stick around, hang out with me for a bit, and then we'll have Jesse. We'll make him come out of the shadows. And you're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. we're back. Oh my gosh. Welcome back from, we just watched, which video did we watch? The Demethyle video? All right. Well, we have Mortigal here and Galavarb here, along with Anna and Jesse. If you guys are longtime watchers of the show, they have been on the show before with a big box of amazingness. So now we have PFs of amazingness. So what are we looking at today?
So we're actually going to do an exclusive unveiling of the exclusives for these three figures. So we have our standard collector's edition of each, and then we have the exclusive, which is a limited edition that comes with an extra piece. So these are the next three figures that'll be available for pre-order for the Court of the Dead collection, starting with Mortigal, who's going up, and I think I can say this, and if I can't, I'm sorry, but he's going up next week for pre-order.
Ruined it.
Yeah, no, you just got the exclusive, that's the exclusive reveal.
It's been a long time coming. This figure was originally an art study. We kind of revamped him a little to be more product friendly and unveiled him at San Diego this year. And now we're ready to show him off with his exclusive, which Jesse is going to kindly Vanna White for me. These are the prototypes, so they're not exactly, they're a little, kind of nurgly to put them together.
Nurgly.
So
I like
you'll
that.
show.
Nurgly.
Some of the transitions require a little earthquake putty and not the magnetism that the product will have. But if you could show us, this
Sure.
is the Veil of Mortality. It's Mortigal's exclusive mask. It comes with its own stand, which is pretty neat if you look closer. It's got some bone faction elements. It's got some really pretty paint job. That sort of like copper gets that really cool patina when it gets older. So it's got that kind of ethereal green to it. And if you want to put the mask on the figure, you can see.
Here we go.
Burp, 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 burp. So when the Reapers are on the battlefield collecting souls, they've got sort of a kinship and an empathy for mortals, even though they've never lived a mortal life. So this figure is a mortal face that Demethyle, throughout all of his, Mortigal, I'm sorry, soul collecting has kind of come as his familiar. And so it kind of gives him a little bit more of a friendlier face, but also kind of creepy when you look at the whole decked out of his...
For those asking for measurements, he's approximately 27 inches tall.
We're going to get a few questions. Jasmine Edwards wants to know, is the cloak cloth or sculpt?
It is cloth. This part here. So this is cloth. This is a kind of a faux leather. So this is all the cut and sew.
Can we turn them around so you can see there's the faux leather that Jesse's talking about on these flaps here with some beautiful little studs in there, and the fabric is lined. You've got like a kind of a scarlet rose Merlot colored fabric with sort of a weathered, more rough cotton on the outside there.
And Justin Forsyth is asking, will the mask go on magnetically? How will it attach once the...
It's got like a negative impression of his face, so it'll kind of lock in. Just kind of show it here. So he's got a little empty socket in his nose there, and you'll have a little kind of a key.
Oh, that's neat.
And if that doesn't work, yes, it'll be a magnet.
Okay.
And bubblegum. So.
And so for those of you that are looking at our other product offerings, we do have a quarter scale mask that we've released, and we'll have a couple. This is a quarter scale mask that you can only get with the exclusive of the figure. That's somewhat of an exclusive continuation of that line, which is why we wanted to take the time and effort to sculpt and include a stand with that. So if you don't want to display the mask on Mortigal and you have the Ossian Unity, you can start to build out a little quarter scale Court of the Dead mask collection.
That's really cool.
Which will come into play when we talk to Kier too a little bit later on. We'll have some other live stream announcements a couple months from now.
Awesome. Very cool. So let's move on to Galavarb for a second. Oh, no? I did.
Oh, never mind. Then.
Yep. 27 inches.
27.
Way ahead of you.
We got that.
Add a little, maybe. Oh my God, he's very heavy. I'll let you do that.
Yeah, Mortigal he's really big. 27 inches, that's over 2 feet tall.
So Galavarb, this is her second version. As you know, she is flesh faction, and as such, she can use her necromantic magic to change her form. So in her original version, she's a mermaid, but here she's more of like a naga snake woman, and this is how she can, traverse the different terrains. So as a mermaid, she's kind of floating through the ether in the Veil of Dream and the Veil of Shadows to go collect mortal souls. But as she's going through the underworld itself, and it's mountain climbing and facing the foes that hang out in the wallows outside Ilverness. She's got this snake form here with creepy fingers that you can see as Jesse is slowly turning it. This is the beautiful handiwork of Mark Newman as well, same as the original piece. Highly detailed. And then, Jesse, if you could do the honors and show her exclusive.
I want to see her, like, walking. Like,
It's super
like stop
creepy.
It's a hand.
It is the touch of death. And it is you'll see it's really cool. They're like little metal fingertips here, and this is how she reaps her souls. So reapers obviously having scythes and swords, which what they're doing, they're collecting. She's a little bit more, she's a Vallestrode reaper, so she's more of up close and personal. You know, she's going to really look you in the eyes before she snatches your soul, and so she has these two fingers that she can do so to harvest souls with, and they're pretty brutal and also very beautiful.
She's about 20 inches tall, guys.
Wow. We kept her kind of in scale with the other figure.
Yeah.
She also has just the standard collector's edition, this really cool swap out piece. If you turn around, she is flesh faction, but she also, I'm giving away some of the story here.
That's okay. That's like a little treat for those who are watching.
It is a little reveal. She actually is kind of pressed into switching factions, which is kind of a big deal at some point later on, and becomes Spirit faction. So as a nod to that and future storylines, we have, if you wouldn't mind swapping this out, Jesse, she has this kind of beautiful ornament decoration in her hip armor that has the Flesh Faction logo on it, and it swaps out for a Spirit Faction logo. They both have this really neat kind of metallic paint touch to it, if you can see. This one's kind of gold, and that one has this beautiful blue metallic edge to it.
Yugo Animations wants to know what she is climbing, if this is a tree or what else is it?
It's like rock and with some skulls.
Yeah, it's like there's definitely skulls in there.
It's a piece of terrain probably from the Wallows, which is the kind of untamed area that's outside of Ilverness, which is the capital city of the underworld, the land of the dead, where the Court of the Dead resides. I think we try and bring a little story to every single element, and I think with this particular base, we're working on a novel in which Galavarb and two other faction members go on a quest for an item, and part of what they have to do is traverse the Wallows, and they face a couple creatures out that way. And what's interesting about the terrain there is that it's kind of always changing. It's very much alive. It's very much wild and untamed, and so a lot of the faces that are tucked in here are symbolic of that and some of the challenges that they face when they set up camp.
Michael Madison wants clarification. Is the swap out faction logo part of the exclusive?
No, that's part of just the standard edition. It's just the hand that's the exclusive. We felt like that was such a key part of the character that it needed to be included with the regular figure. So it's just kind of a cool extra thing that you get with the basic figure.
And if people want to read more about each of these characters, how will they get more information about that? Since we're going into some depth, and they might get interested and intrigued.
Well, currently we have the Court of the Dead Chronicle of the Underworld, which is our universe handbook. We have a journal and a sketchbook, both which have just a little smidgen of story at the beginning and the end, and then they're obviously functional journal and sketchbook. And we do have the Court of the Dead Grave Tales Comics Omnibus right now, which is a collection of kind of short one-off stories that set up the characters in the world. But next July, we're going to have two all-new publications. It's very exciting. We're going to have Rise of the Reaper General, which is the origin story of Demethiel. And it's this beautiful illustrated novel. It's about 200 pages. Rachel, one of our in-house concept artists, has done a ton of Topi-inspired black and white illustrations throughout. Each one is very tattoo-worthy. It's very difficult. I know we're all going to have new
I know. Everyone's going to have new ink by the time this is done.
So it goes really in a deep dive of Demethiel, but of course all the other characters kind of surround him. And then we're doing an original graphic novel, for those of you that prefer pictures with your words, called Shadows of the Underworld, that really gets into Kier and Exriel and Death and the faction leaders. And basically the Underworld faces a foe that falls to the Dread's grip, and they kind of have to all unite to defeat this foe, and it's really, really beautiful.
So Noob Skywalker wants to know...
Nice name.
Yeah. How many hours do you guys spend brainstorming all of this stuff?
all of the hours.
It's kind of their full-time job.
No, seriously though. I mean, it's pretty much. Even if we are designing product, that story is a key component and driver in that. And I really don't joke when I say it's all hours of the night. I mean, Tom, the wheels are always turning in his head. I get texts at 10 o'clock at night with, I just solved this thing.
That's
note
awesome.
for tomorrow. From his iPad, the stream of consciousness stuff that I get from him in the morning. Or sometimes, I have not had enough coffee to digest this level of depth
and
yet.
I understand. The Smiling Virus wants to know, what do you recommend to start reading in order to get into the court? Well, The Smiling Virus, just to kind of, before you get into yours, I would like to give you the Court Chronicle, just to get you started. So this is the Chronicle of the Underworld. Yes, the Chronicle of the Underworld. So send an email to social@sideshow.com, and we will put in Court Chronicle as your subject line, and where you want it shipped. And this is kind of the recommended reading to get started. Among anything else, Anna, would you recommend?
Well, if you like the Chronicle, I would suggest moving on to Grave Tales next. This is really the Universe Handbook, so it reads, you can read it from front to back cover and you'll get a story straight through, but it's more like a D&D monster manual, and that it's meant to be like, or like the Marvel Universe Handbook. You open it up, you can read a discrete entry, get a tidbit of the universe, people's places and things, kind of a thing. But the Grave Tales Omnibus is more story-oriented, and each issue is a little bit different. I think there's 9 issues total in the book. So you can sit down and read your 20 pages and get a little snippet of story. So.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, awesome. The Smiling Virus. Send me an email.
Sheldon Bucker on Facebook wants to know, where will these novels and new developments be available?
Well, obviously through the Sideshow site, we'll be publishing those ourselves, but our publisher Inside Editions will also be carrying it through retailers, so they'll be available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble and anywhere books are sold.
That's awesome. And Scott Koo wants to know, is there anyone in particular writing the novel, and who is it?
Yeah, the novel writing has been a team effort because Tom has really scripted that out, and I think he's where the story originates, and the beats in the story. And we've had a writer and then an editorial team that's taken that on. So it's a team of people, but it really starts with Tom.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I think we haven't talked about Kier yet. So do you want to talk about Kier? We can rotate. I'll flip with you, Jesse.
All right.
Okay. So, Kira's very close to my heart, one of my favorite characters, but this figure is particularly special. I think someone had asked earlier if the extra piece at the back of Galavar was part of the standard edition, and we felt like including it was really important because that's key to the character, and I feel like we felt the same way about Kier and really kind of took that to the next level. Her mask is removable. It will be magnetic. I don't know if you...
And it is magnetic.
Hey! And you can see she has this really awesomely fierce expression. Again, the beautiful handiwork of sculptor Mark Newman. And so I think anyone might have thought, like, oh, this would be a great exclusive. Let's make the mask an exclusive. And it comes with its own stand that matches her base. But we felt like the mask is so iconic to the character and such a key part. And Court of the Dead is really our baby here at Sideshow. So we were able to say, you know what, we're just going to include that in the standard edition. So the removable mask with its own stand is just part of the collector's edition for this figure, which I feel like is incredibly deluxe.
That's amazing.
And then we went above and beyond, and this is one of my favorite exclusives we've ever done. So she's holding a we call it severed order. It's a dead angel head in her hand here. And for those of you who know Kier's backstory, she was imperfect and an angel and kicked out of heaven, and death adopted her. And so she kind of has a little bit of a revenge chip on her shoulder. But we made for her exclusive a swap out piece that's a dead demon head. So here's the big reveal here, and this is really the first looks at the Heaven and Hell character design that we've done, which I think is pretty neat.
All right, hang on, give me a second.
It's a little bit of a finicky. Again, this is the prototype, so figuring out some of the engineering is a little bit trickier. But we call the exclusive is called Severed Chaos because heaven is order and hell is chaos, and it swaps out for a dead demon head that's pretty awesome. So there's really a ton of customization options with this figure and storytelling. I really love how you can show the figure with and without mask, but I mean, basically there's 2 other heads. So very cool.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the detail on the flesh of that chaos head is crazy. Wow.
That is awesome.
Dominic Frederick wants to know, is she completely sculpted or is there any cut and sew elements on her?
Yep, her little flappies are cut and sew.
Her little flappies are cut and sew.
Yeah. They're a little revealing.
Noelle Willett on Facebook wants to know, does this mean now we're going to start exploring more of heaven and hell in the line?
Yes, we are. There are definitely characters that figure in the storytelling that we're doing. Oh gosh, I'm just going to blow all the secrets in this live stream. We're actually working on some designs for Heaven and Hell figures as well, an angel and a demon. They are named characters that figure into the fiction as well. And so that's something we'll maybe bring on a later live stream.
So Zach Lewis asked, if you guys were court figures, which figure would you be?
That's a good question. That's a great question.
Instead of, the general factions or, but which figure would you be?
I think I said last time I'd be Relic all the way.
That's a great one.
Yep. Big dumb oaf.
I think I'd pick Xyle. She's Death's right-hand woman. She's got all that osteomancy magic. She's spooky as all get out.
Puzzle. Zach Lewis, you get a puzzle. No, I think just a puzzle. Zach Lewis, you're going to get one of our court puzzles. Ooh. So feel free to email social@sideshow.com. Write court puzzle 1, because there's 4 puzzles to give away. So this is court puzzle 1 is your subject line and where you want it shipped in the body of the email. So congrats to Zach Lewis. Woohoo! So for the people who are new, who are just coming into the live stream, who've never ever seen anything like this before, what can you do? What can you tell them about the court that is like kind of a first look at it? Because Luke Stemkins in YouTube has never heard of the court before, and he would like to hear more.
Okay, so the Court of the Dead is Sideshow's original property. It's dark fantasy horror. It comes straight from the twisted genius mind of our chief creative officer, Tom Gilliland. It's his magnum opus. It's a story that's literally been simmering in his head for a decade. And we're slowly telling that story. I think because Tom is a painter and because we are a fine art collectible company, we started with these expressions, but we've slowly been building out the story and the publishing platform around that. And one strategic point with the figures kind of around that, like if you're looking to start a Court of the Dead collection, there are quite a lot of court figures that are in stock, and that's intentional on our part. Because people are discovering it every day, because it is our baby and our original IP. And really, the figures are kind of no holds bars. We have no licensor approvals. We can go crazy bonkers with detail. This is where we can really let our creative juices flow. We wanted to keep as many of those figures in stock as well. So if people want to start a collection, we've purposely left some of the later edition sizes, and we'll continue to do that to make them a little bit larger so that new fans that discover it can still get those key figures and start their collection and join the court.
All right, Luke, because you're brand new to the court, we have this court intro prize pack for you that we would like to send you. So please email social@sideshow.com, write your subject line court intro prize pack, and then where you would like it shipped in the body of the email. So this includes a court pin, a court coin. This is from Spooktacular last year. Wow.
It is. It has a little hole in it, so you can wear it.
I did that with
put it on
mine.
your
It's really
keychain.
cool.
Hand-me-downs.
Court of the Dead patch. I did it with mine. A Xyle Miss Monster print, the Court Chronicle, and a Court calendar for next year.
Wow.
Which comes with a collectible, an awesome image of Malavestris.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's amazing. So congratulations to Luke, and thank you for taking interest in the court. We're happy to take your soul into the underworld. That's not creepy at all.
Now we have a question from someone who seems like they know a little bit more, like they're really in the mythology. Aaron Woodward wants to know, will we be learning more about the Sanguine Heresy moving forward?
Oh, the Blood Faction.
Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely it's definitely a story that Tom has in mind and wants to tell. We want to tell the Rise, Conquer, Rule trilogy first, which is really the underworld facing off with heaven and hell. But after they fight that war, and depending on how that turns out, then they may have to deal with their prodigal son, Ravels. That's all I'm going to say about that.
What was the name?
Aaron Woodward.
Aaron Woodward, you're going to take home a premium dealer set from Court of the Dead. This is a really cool set.
It's actually the first
This
look
is the
right
first
there.
look at this. Wow, this is kind of the reveal. You're going to be one of the first people to have this.
This is super awesome.
Since you're super deep into court mythology, we'd like to give it to you first. So email social@sideshow.com and write premium dealer as your subject line.
So shout out to Scott Wade, one of our art directors, and Eric Scoggin, one of our brand designers for this piece. What's awesome about this, even if you don't play cards, I mean, you can frame this set. Every single face card in here has original art on it that's a different interpretation of death by a faction, plus his faction leaders and some of the ancillary figures within that. I mean, it's macabre and ornate and beautiful and unique, and I've really never seen anything like it. And the card backs similarly have a really, really intricate design on them. So even just, I think, if you're an appreciator of art, here's a different flavor of artwork from the in-house team and with our partner over at Project Raygun. It's a really just a beautiful card set in its own right.
That's amazing. We're trying to pull our first winner from Periscope right now, so forgive me if I was a little distracted. There are lots of questions if we will do 1/6 scale in court at all.
It's something we've explored. It's something we're looking at maybe someday.
Someday.
Scott Keltner on Facebook wants to know if you guys ever decided on a name for the Court of the Dead apple that was shown.
Well, I know what our
Court of the Dead
nickname
apple.
is for him internally, but I don't know. I don't know if he has an official name.
It should be a contest.
Yeah, I think we did actually put it out on social in like a call for.
Well, I'm behind the times.
You can have a journal.
Scott Keltner.
Scott Keltner. Email social@sideshow.com. Court Journal 1, since we have multiple court journals to give away, and then where you would like it shipped. All right, our first winner in Periscope, because we've never given anything away in Periscope before, so this is really, really cool. Gets a Galavarb puzzle, and this is Dog 6769. So Dog 6769, you are our first Periscope winner. Please use your real name in your email, because sometimes people write, when they have that, they just keep writing like their username, and I'm like, but I need to ship it to someone. So write,
Ship to dog.
ship to dog.
Dog.
Dog 6769, email social@sideshow.com, write puzzle 2 as your subject line and where you would like it shipped in the body of your email, plus your real name, please. Thank you. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Roman wants to jump into the court since he's new. How would you relate it to in terms of DC or Marvel?
It's way better.
Oh my gosh.
CR guy screams.
Yeah.
So-
PR guy screams.
I would say that this is what a superhero team looks like to a fan of dark fantasy and horror.
How about we send you the court book?
Yeah, that's a good.
you can just
that's
read
good.
the court book and figure out, because I feel like with comics and with anything you can have a different interpretation. So this would be a superhero team for dark fantasy or
For
horror.
girly ghoulies.
Yeah, for the
So
girly
how about we
ghoulies.
just send you a court book? Roman, send an email to social@sideshow.com, write Chronicle as your subject line and where you would like it shipped in the body of the email. And we will like a follow-up email knowing what you think that you would
there you
relate
go,
it to.
yeah.
So I gave you homework. I gave you a book and a homework assignment. Wow, that's awesome. Cool. So what can we expect next for court? Like where can they see these pieces in person next?
Well, we've done a lot of international shows lately. So if any of y'all are in Argentina, you can go down to Argentina Comic-Con, where you can get a preview of production samples of 2 of our figures that aren't shipping yet, as well as a lovely collection of the figures that are in stock. We've done a lot of international shows lately. Obviously, San Diego is our biggest show of the year, and that's where we really had, a display, and we kind of brought everything out. We've been, parceling those figures out bit by bit over the next year or two because we don't want to overwhelm collectors. But we've had a huge international presence this year. We had a few figures at New York Comic Con. We also had a pretty big display at Shanghai Comic Con. That was awesome. At Spiel Essen in Germany.
Really
Yeah,
cool.
they did a fantastic job. We have a lot of fans in China. There was a really great company called 1000 Arts that did an amazing collectible coin. And I'm so bad with names, I'm forgetting the gentleman. The artist that did it was an amazing guy that works for the Chinese Mint, who's a fan of, he did a Gethsemane. He's a fan of the Queen, and just did this beautiful coin that was an exclusive giveaway there.
So good.
We had a display at Lucca in Italy. And so while we can't do a San Diego level display at every show, I feel like we've had a presence at more shows internationally than ever before. So Argentina.
When is Argentina Comic-Con?
I believe it's December 6th. I don't know off the top of my head.
So first weekend in December or early December-ish.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I hear that if you miss out on some of these exclusives, there are other ways to get them, like the pins.
Yes, we'll be giving some away on social. So we have been doing our exclusive pin program, which is our little skull face at the center of our logo. So we did an exclusive for New York. We did one at Shanghai. We're doing one in Argentina. So we've been collecting a couple of those. And if you tune in and follow us on social media, we'll be giving those away.
Now, the court has their own social media pages. So those handles are, I think they're across the board, Court of the Dead. On Instagram, it's Court of the Dead. On Twitter and on Facebook, it's all Court of the Dead. So we link to them a lot from the main page, but they do have their own social with their own giveaways. So if you don't want to miss out on the court, you might want to go and follow them over there.
There's cool behind-the-scenes photos there. You can learn some
concept
whisk
art. Whisk words
concept
on
art.
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Quinn St. Kitts wants to know, is there going to be an angel/human version of Kier coming? Well, not human, because she wasn't human.
Yeah, she's soulborn or spiritborn. She's never been mortal, but we do have concept art of her. Actually, if you look in the Court of the Dead Grave Tales Comics Omnibus, there is a Kier origin story in there. It's beautiful art by Andrew Huerta that has like this really kind of amazing edge to it. He's super stylized, and you can see her as a baby, so you can see her angelic format. And if you check out the back of Kier, I don't want to knock over her mask. She has these very gnarly, gorgeous nubbins where her wings used to be.
Nubbins.
So you can see it's a technical term. It's a angel wing.
Nubbins.
Nubbins.
Angel wing nubbins. So Quinn St. Kitts,
You can see her
email
laser wings.
social at Sideshow, write journal 2. That's journal 2.
Sir,
Yeah,
those are
journal
chilies.
2. No, 2.
Deep fried
Two.
with ranch.
And where you want it shipped.
It's unholy good.
Congratulations, Quinn. So just a few short links where you can RSVP for all the figures. Kier's is sideshow.com/Kier. Galavarb is sideshow.com/Galavarb. And Mortigal is sideshow.com/Mortigal. So we made it really, really easy.
It is what it says it is.
Oh, and Brett's going to pull them up for me? Sweet. Awesome. Cool.
Sweet.
Well, we already started giving away some of the prizes, so keep the questions coming. You guys are doing really well. Do we want to take a short coffee break and show them the out of the box for Shard? Or Cleopsis? Cleopsis. That's what I meant. I did not mix up my pages at all. So why don't we do that? So think of some more questions, and when we come back, we'll answer more. You guys are watching Sideshow Live, Court of the Dead edition. We'll be right back. we hope you guys have questions because we have prizes. Do you have one queued up?
Yes.
Awesome.
Nikki Marie wants to know if it's possible that there are any demon characters who are good or angel characters who are bad, or what's the status there?
It's true. And technically across the board, angels and demons are all bad guys. I mean, in the sense that they are, they're all sort of the villains in the Court of the Dead and in the underworld. They've all lost their sense of self to, power hungry, like a need for souls. And that's really what the underworld is trying to end their kind of myopic war with one another for souls and free the mortal realm and the underworld from having to collect those souls and kind of bring some balance back to the universe. All that said, there's definitely a few angels and demons that have defected to the underworld. There's some that are kind of neutral and just trying to get along. Heaven, with its very myopic view of order is very much a military. So I think a lot of the ex-angels are folks like Kier that have been, they weren't perfect. They didn't fit and toe the line, so they're singular defectors. Hell is kind of like, it's a bunch of biker gangs, really. There's a lot of chaos going on down there. There's a lot of Game of Thrones stuff going on, a lot of jockeying for position, different factions. It's, total chaos. So the demon defectors are a little bit different, but and again, you can read about this in the Chronicle. But Exriel has actually been through both heaven and hell on his way to the underworld. He's actually, a lot of the hell stories have a kind of a romantic edge to them, oddly enough. Yeah,
we're getting
Exriel
a ton of questions. So Nikki, email social@sideshow.com to claim your journal. Just subject line journal 3. Awesome. So someone wants to know, and this one should be quick, which Court of the Dead character would Vincent Price provide the voice for if he were still alive?
Malvestros.
That's exactly who I was thinking. I was like, he would have to be Malvestros, right?
Yes.
Most
That's
definitely.
awesome. Coffee Bound Soul, did we give him something already? I don't think we did. No,
I think he just asked a question earlier.
Yeah, so Coffee Bound Soul, since you had 2 amazing questions, here is a premium jigsaw puzzle. So Coffee Bound Soul can email social@sideshow.com. Puzzle 3 is your subject line. Awesome. And I just have to do this shout out to Alex Aronowitz. I'm so bad with pronunciation. He planted a Court of the Dead coin in an ancient monastery site somewhere in Ireland when he was on vacation.
That's amazing,
That's
sir.
so cool.
That's incredible.
We are going to give
Nothing
you...
like vandalism.
I know. We probably shouldn't say we love vandalism on the live show. Anyway, but Alex, you're going to be the only other person to own one of these Court premium dealer sets. We only had 2, and this is the other one, so thank you for...
Your coin is coming back to you.
Yeah.
There's a very nice, heavy, beautiful dealer coin in
There you
that
go.
set as well.
Oh
so
my gosh.
there you go.
So,
Vatican.
Poetic in a way.
so yeah, this one's for the Vatican.
Yep.
But email social@sideshow.com and write, I would say Ireland should be your subject line.
Yeah.
Ireland.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
Well
that's
done, sir.
So cool. Someone wants to know if we are making court dioramas.
We could.
Sure. What do you want?
Sure, what do you want? Says Jesse. Wow.
Oh. And we always look at dioramas as a possibility when we do pose studies. So we usually start out with a character design and just what the character looks like, and then we figure out how they're going to be posed, and so it's definitely a
Or you
possibility.
just buy 2 figures and put them together and voila.
Right.
Diorama.
Here versus the demon head thing would be really cool.
Lindsay Amalthea on Facebook wants to know if there will be a Whispered dictionary.
There could be. I don't think we have enough Whispered yet to fill out a dictionary. Right now it's a 2-page spread in the Chronicle. But as Kitty knows, because she's helping us out with some of that Whispered Wednesdays, we do have another Word document full of very NSFW slang. So it could grow.
Kitty on YouTube, someone wants to know if Kier is aware of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
No.
I just had to ask her. Tashi Station 1 wants to know how you come up with the court character names.
Just grab letters out of a sack.
Oh,
See
you
how
just
they arrange.
shake-
Yeah.
Bananagrams, we just shake up the banana and see what comes out.
You're like, those words kind of go together.
Roy Johnson in YouTube wants to know how long till there's a Funko
version of the court.
I
want that.
I would also like that, and to be honest, I've actually said something to people at Funko about it. I'm like, so when are we doing this? And they're like, I don't know. So there you go. That's the answer.
Someday?
What? Everyone needs Funko Death with the huge mask. And then he would over, because he's like, it's a huge mask
He's a
on
little
top,
top
and they're
heavy.
always top heavy to begin with. Yes, but yeah, Funko. I know Funko watches our show, so
You tell us.
you tell us,
Yeah.
Funko. Yeah, shoot us an email. Rodney Jones wants to know, will there ever be another siren with the water idea like the first one? Because Galavarb is his favorite, and he got into her too late.
I'm sorry you missed out on our first Galavarb.
Yeah.
There is a possibility that we could return to that. I think it's definitely a fan favorite. But here,
There you go.
you'll get
Have a puzzle. Email social at Sideshow.
Wait, what, Rodney?
Puzzle 4. Puzzle 4. Puzzle 4. And then you can continue because I interrupted you.
No, I think the short answer is yes, maybe someday.
Alex, who buried the coin, wants to know, will there be more court pets?
Always. There's always more court pets. It's a pet project here at this brand team. So
That face. Awesome.
the Punisher rule. Sorry, but yes, there are court pets, and we're all very fond of Riaz in particular. And if you saw our 9-inch figures at San Diego, there was a little Riaz on the fence. And we especially look at those when we're engineering exclusives.
I
So
super want
there's
to
definitely more animal sidekicks.
I might have to
in the
switch
court
factions
future.
somehow to Bone just so I can be.
Come to the Bone
Because
faction
I'm like, oh, but
season.
there's a cat.
Come to Bone.
On the note of animals, Hunter Johnston wants to know, are there any beasts in the world of Court of the Dead, like dragons or undead horses or those types of larger creatures?
Yes and yes. And you'll get to read about them in The Rise of the Reaper General. That novel is broken up into about 4 different chapters and different quests, and one in particular, there's, just spilling all the popcorn in the lobby today, there's a character called the Nurgalach that is terrifying monster amalgam of animal and spirit stuff. And the artwork for it is bonkers. Again, be a great tattoo, get the long Nurgalach down your back. But yes.
Someone is asking about a new Avarkus since we're rehashing all of the characters. Do you want to answer that, Jesse?
No.
Aww.
He would be, I'll give the more politically correct answer, he would be lower on our list of priorities for rehashing characters. The ones that we've looked at are more of our fan favorites, and the ones that we're revisiting and that are more primary characters in our fiction. And Avarkus is really kind of a B-level villain. That said, we're working on a game right now with Project Raygun. It's awesome, and Avarkus does have a card in the deck there with some new concept art, and that lets you do something like really evil. So he's not forgotten.
So they want to know J.C. Odes. Sure. He wants to know, which of these statues here do we feel is the most graphically finished?
I think we just talked about it.
Yeah.
Graphically finished.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I think they all are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of the Court of the Dead. I mean, it really, we're on our own timeline, we're our own licensor.
Oh.
I think he means transition from the novel to.
Oh,
to
okay.
the actual statue.
I wasn't sure what. I'm
Does
just
he? I
reading
don't
the
know.
questions.
Explain yourself.
Yep.
If you mean like the most visually, like graphically
I
thought
know.
out, I mean, if it's the translate to story, it's probably Demethiel at this point, I think, because we did write his origin story, and we have a whole book basically dedicated to him and his POV.
They would also like to know, is there any chance for weapon replicas from the court?
It's definitely something we're exploring. There's interesting restrictions around doing weapon replicas with materials, and actually you could probably speak more to that.
Yeah, because they end up killing people. So, shipping metal and
Yeah. Problematic.
a little bit.
A little bit.
Just make your own.
And then Joe
Prison
Lombardo,
shivs of the dead.
Joe Lombardo wants to know, is there an anime planned for the court? And then follow-up is also people are asking about Netflix and Hulu and serialized television.
So we're definitely interested in doing entertainment for Court of the Dead, but we want to maintain the integrity of the story above all else. So that means we're going to publish the novels first and tell the story the way we want to tell it before we ever partner with an entertainment partner to tell that story in a different way.
Awesome. Is Galabarb a spy?
Yes.
Wow.
See.
We already answered the question about steeds, because that's yes.
There's wisp strides. That's like the steeds in the underworld. They're sort of like a pack of spirits that used to be very headstrong animals in the mortal realm. And you've got to go and stand up against them and kind of win their respect. So.
And then
yes.
Luke says, who did the voice of Malavestris in the trailer? Because he loved it.
Jared Butler.
Jared Butler?
See.
He's the guy that plays, he does the voice acting of Nick Fury in the TV show.
I believe it was Jared Butler.
Oh.
Jared Butler. Yeah.
There you
I
go.
was like, Gerard Butler?
Jared Butler.
Oh, that's super close. All right.
George Clooney.
George Clooney. It was Matt Damon.
Mark Hamill.
Yep.
Joker, Malavestris. Done.
It was James Earl Jones. Wow.
Maybe. I don't know is the answer.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we gave away everything that we have right now.
We're out.
And we're out of prizes. And
Questions.
books, when is the last question that we have?
San Diego, 2018.
So
2 new books.
July 2018. We can't wait. I can't wait to devour all of them. They're going to be such great stories.
But tune into the live stream, because as we get further along in the development of those, we'll definitely be coming on to share and preview some of that content. Maybe Susan could do a story time. You could.
Oh my gosh.
You could read. We could do
That would be
like
great.
a bedtime story.
We can do like
And then Demethiel killed all.
it'd be like
Give a
Sam
contest
Jackson.
where people can come and have story time with you.
Put them in sleeping bags.
Put them in the fort.
Yeah.
We have a
Yes.
fort. In
Fort of the Dead.
Pillow fort.
The dead.
Fort of the Dead.
There we go.
Have Tom with like one of those Scrooge night hats.
And Tom will wear Mama in
I
her
like
kerchief
that.
and I in my cap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm sure he'd love that.
Yeah.
Look what we volunteer him to do when he's not here. That's awesome. Great. Well, thank you guys for being on the show.
Thank you for
And
having us.
Thank you all for watching
Thank
and
you.
tuning into our court special live show for Spooktacular. For all Spooktacular awesomeness, head on over to sideshow.com/spooktacular. And for all Court of the Dead awesomeness, head on over to courtofthedead.com. And Anna and I are just going to keep dancing until they turn the camera off of us. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.